Um, our chief guest this morning, Professor Judy Wakungu, the representative of the judiciary, representative of the AU Animal Resources, the representatives of the veterinary bodies here this morning, our host, the Director General of KWS, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say, on behalf of the board of ANAW, we are all delighted to welcome all of us here this morning. When I look back on the issues of animals, for me, this is the 35th year. Of course, the issue of animal welfare is a more recent item, rather than the part that I've spent the most in my life. And I think it has added something very useful and very new indeed to my life. And it is a delight to have to learn something new every day as you go along. For ANAW, which I have served on the board now for, I think it's going to be 4th year, although I was very much aware right from the beginning when Josephat and team moved over to start ANAW, I wanted to say that the last 10 years have been great for ANAW, principally because they came into the scene and diverted from doing the usual thing that we have done in wildlife conservation in this country. And this was to try and look at the issues of animal welfare, to take animal welfare as one central theme that is so important to the overall conservation of the parks, of the elephants, of the rhinos, and the rest of it. And indeed, beyond even the wild animals, we just had the representatives of the veterinary body here telling us that if we stress our animals, indeed we end up acquiring chemicals or substances into ourselves from the condition of those animals. It does mean a lot of issues. As ANAW, we believe that good people are kind to animals. The humane sense of goodness is essential for and leads to better treatment of animals. Human-animal coexistence is unavoidable in all spheres and scales of development in Africa. However, unlike the time of our grandparents, the coexistence today is a win-lose situation for animals. Nowadays, people are just thinking about populations, and everything is about productivity. Hence, animals are now factors of production to sustain the human populations. As a result, animal welfare is today largely disregarded in most aspects of modern quest for human development. Most cultural practices that encourage animal tolerance, animal considerations, care and reverence have actually gone extinct themselves or are going towards extinction pretty fast. Over the past 10 years, ANAW has made animal welfare a cross-cutting theme in all aspects and levels of human development in Africa. Our work has traversed the dimensions of sustainable development, addressing economic growth, social development, environmental protection, We have raised awareness about animal welfare in debates, for example, concerning issues of GMOs. This is the genetic modified organisms, the international wildlife trade, especially the illegal aspect of it, development of infrastructure, the cruel cultural practices, animal legislations and policy development, veterinary and animal disease management. ANAW, as an organization, is designed to work with and through stakeholders. None of these achievements would have been possible without the involvement, cooperation, collaboration, and partnership of government, other non-governmental organizations, the private sector, the community-based organizations. And I wanted to say that this spirit defines the true qualities of a civil society organization. Through the support of several development partners, ANAW has worked closely with agencies in all arms of government. For example, we've had an addressed forum with the National Assembly. We continue holding dialogues and trainings with the judiciary. We work closely with many agencies in the executive wing of government, which would include the law enforcement agencies, the education and training agencies, the animal health, production and marketing agencies, the natural resources management agencies such as wildlife, forestry, marine and fisheries. As a result, ANAW is renowned for the many things: campaigns against inclusion of sport hunting in the Kenya Wildlife Act, development. For example, there had been a proposal to cage sharks in the southern Indian Ocean, part of Kenya, and ANAW actively engaged in that, and for the moment the project is off the table. We've had a couple of court injunctions which Joseph mentioned. There was an issue of animals which were to be taken abroad, and this appeared to really go against policy. ANAW was effective in engaging against it. We've had a moratorium on GMOs in this country, and sometimes I've tended to be the non-biologist I'm supposed to be, and I wanted to say this because I did say it sometime, and some people found it quite sensitive. And this is about the GMOs. If you put GMO maize in a cage and you put another small basin of natural maize and you cage in some rats, the rats will eat the natural maize first until they finish, until they lick the fragments. They will stay thin before they begin to eat the GMOs. And even when they begin to eat it, they will eat parts of it. And you ask yourself why. I'm not going to give you an answer for that. There must be something. If you put out GMO vegetables together with the non-GM, the insects will eat the non-GM very well. They will not eat the other one. And here is my sensitivity. That this GM is so bad that even an insect knows it's not edible and they don't eat it. So having said that, I just wanted to sum it up, and it has been said very well, and I'm not going to repeat it. In the brochures you have on the tables, I wanted to say for the next 5 years, 2016-2020, ANAW is principally focusing on 3 aspects: building of capacity through education, awareness, to improve skills and knowledge, as well as influence positive attitudes and responsible behavior towards the treatment of all animals. The rest of the details are on the form, that our brochure that has been circulated in front of you. The second is advocate for protection of all animals through elimination of all forms of cruelty and persecution in society. Again, the details are in the brochure that is in front of you. I don't want to mention it because I want to make sure that you have the appetite to look through that brochure. The third one is to promote harmonious coexistence between animals, people, their culture, and development aspirations. I share this 5-year vision on this occasion with you here today as an invitation to continue working with us in the various ways towards better life for all animals in all society and for ourselves. On behalf of ANAW's board management, staff, and friends, I highly appreciate the value of your continued partnership on this solemn journey on the African continent. Once again, I say thank you all, and please feel very welcome. 10th birthday celebration is indeed a very young one, and I think with the few hours we have spent, this is worthwhile enough, and we should soon be going out to be able to pursue what we should be pursuing in the next 50, 70 years in the case of the elephants. Thank you very much.